The fans make their way in on Utah Street to Camden Yards in Baltimore on a chilly night. It's game one of a three-game weekend series between the Red Sox and the Baltimore Orioles. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Early on, the Red Sox were getting some tough starting pitching and hitting. Right now, hitting is the problem for the Red Sox as the bats have gone a little bit cold.
Well, it certainly was in the series in Tampa Bay. And, you know, when you look at the Red Sox, as far as runs scored in the American League, they're fifth in runs scored, but they've left an awful lot of men on base. And certainly against Tampa Bay, you see the 1 for 23 with runners in scoring position, 133 left on base this season. That's the most in Major League Baseball now. You know, how do you change that? You just keep taking your bats. It's not like you have a meeting and you go in and say, okay, we got to be better with men in scoring position. That just doesn't happen. I think one thing you have to remember as a hitter is the pressure is on the pitcher when there are men in scoring position. It kind of flipped that around. But with this lineup, that's going to change, obviously. You know, you got a lot of guys right now that are not swinging the bat the way they're capable of doing so. And this would be a good weekend to get started because the Baltimore pitching right now is last in the American League. They're having big-time problems. So maybe the Red Sox can take advantage of that.
And the Orioles have lost 4 games in a row coming in to begin this series. Well, the Red Sox trying to ignite their offense. Little change in the Red Sox lineup tonight. In the lineup, and at shortstop is Brock Holt. He's an igniter for sure. Red Sox and Orioles coming your way next from Camden Yards. Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop Nissan.com. Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin'. Toyota's website for deals via Toyota.com. Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. Your local Subaru dealers. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at Southwest.com. Looking back inside Camden Yards as we send it down to field level for our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Well, the Red Sox and Orioles getting ready for game one of the three-game series. The Orioles have taken the field already tonight, so let's check out the Red Sox starting lineup. It's brought to you by your Eastern Hyundai dealers. Leading it off and in center field, Mookie Betts with Dustin Pedroia at second base, batting second. David Ortiz, the DH, bats third with Hanley Ramirez in behind him, and in left field in the cleanup spot with Mike Napoli at first base. Pablo Sandoval sliding down to the sixth spot in the order. It is Daniel Nava starting in right, batting seventh. Brock Holt in the lineup tonight is at shortstop, his second straight start at shortstop as he bats eighth, and Ryan Hannigan does the catching and bats ninth for Boston. Tonight's Orioles starting pitcher is presented by your New England Nissan dealers. Yael Gonzalez off to a good start here in 2015. Fourth start of the year, 2-1 with a 2.55 earned run average in 17 2/3 innings. He got 20 strikeouts, has walked double figures in 10, and opponents are hitting at 190 against him. Beat the Red Sox last time out, 5-inning effort, giving up 3 runs. A tough outing yesterday for their ace, really, Chris Tillman against Toronto. And again, the Orioles have lost 4 straight games.
Tonight's Oriole defense is brought to you by DraftKings. They were 11th in the league with 10 errors in 16 games. Manny Machado will be at third base. Everett Cabrera, the shortstop. Ray Navarro making his major league debut at second base, and Chris Davis, the first baseman. Left to right, Alejandro Diaz, Adam Jones, and Delman Young, and Caleb Joseph doing the catching for Gonzalez.
Umpiring crew tonight, Dana Demuth has a play calling the balls and strikes with Will Little at first base, Toby Basner at second base, and Chris Conroy, the umpire, at third. Weather conditions tonight brought to you by Benjamin Moore. Paint like no other. For a store near you, go to benjaminmoore.com. 55 degrees. Feels like 55 degrees with the breeze left to right at 12 miles per hour. Clear and cool, the forecast. In fact, a cloud in the sky as we get it started here tonight, but on the chilly side to begin this ball game. And fans have come out. Lots of jackets here in the ballpark, and certainly not the conditions we had in St. Pete, but it is cooler here tonight for game one of the series, and the Red Sox hoping to warm up the bats after they were cooled off in Tampa Bay. And Mookie Betts, who is hitting under 200 starting tonight's action, looking to get it started for the Red Sox here in the first inning. Gonzalez ready with the first pitch of the ball game, and it is in there for strike one, and we're underway. That's at 194 to start the night. 2 homers, 9 runs batted in.
Now the Red Sox tonight from Gonzalez will see the fastball, the breaking ball, and a split-fingered fastball. As you mentioned, Don told you he worked against the Red Sox last time out and picked up the win.
That's 2 for 11 in the series against the Rays. So look at the arsenal for Miguel Gonzalez. 53% of the time fastballs, 32% breaking balls, and a changeup 15%. The 2-1 pitch, just missing.
One of the problems Orioles pitchers have been having, they've been walking a lot of guys. And right away, Gonzalez behind, and 3 balls and 1 strike.
Line into center field, a base hit for Mookie Betts. A good start to the night for Betts, aboard here with a single.
That's a good position to be in. 3 balls, 1 strike. You know you're going to get a fastball right down the middle of the plate, and Betts shoots it right back up the middle for the base hit. So Betts now 3 for 9 with a home run in his career against Gonzalez.
Lead runner on here for the Red Sox in the first inning, and brings up Dustin Pedroia. 254 with 4 homers and 9 runs batted in for Pedroia. He was 2 for 13 in the series against the Rays as he takes a pitch for ball 1. He's always hit well here at Camden Yards, just shy of 300 for his career, 299. Has now hit safely in 15 consecutive games here at Camden Yards. Throw to first, and Mookie Betts diving back to the bag safely.
Perfect 5 for 5 for Betts in the steal department.
And the throw to first. That's with that big lead, but able to get back again. Mookie Betts with the leadoff single to start this first inning. Now Pedroia waiting on a 1-0 pitch. And Dustin will pop it up, foul ground. Caleb Joseph, now standing in fair ground, will give way to Davis, and the first baseman makes the catch. See Fenway Park like never before at the Fenway Park Open House tomorrow from 10 to 6. Take a look in the Red Sox clubhouse. Enjoy a baseball showcase game between Florida A&M University and North Carolina Central starting at 2 p.m. And get autographs from Red Sox alumni and pictures with trophies, all for free. Visit redsox.com/open house for more information. 1 out, 1 on, and here's Big Papi. 192 average for Ortiz, 3 homers and 5 runs batted in. And Ortiz taking strike 1. David 1 for 11 in the series against Tampa Bay. Did have a home run. That was the one part. Morse was ejected last weekend on Sunday against the Orioles for arguing a check swing. 11th career rejection for David. Strangely, each of the last 3 coming against the Orioles.
I like that swing a little bit better than what I've been seeing lately from David Ortiz. It seems like he's been pulling off a lot of swings with that front shoulder. That time he's able to keep it in, clean the ball out. It does go foul, but hit it pretty well. That front shoulder leaves too soon. The bat drags a little bit, and sometimes those fly balls go to the opposite field.
Takes the 0-2 outside. Saw the Orioles stacking it up on the right side shift-wise, but they keep it close to the infield. The double play possibilities, and Hanley Ramirez back in there tonight. The check on Betts. This one not as close as he gets back to the bag. Ortiz lifts a fly ball out towards left center field. Adam Jones moving over, so is Diaza, and it's Diaza makes the catch, and Betts retreats to the bag at first with now 2 down. So 2 away, and it brings up Hanley Ramirez. 263 average with 5 homers and 12 runs batted in. 3 for 9 in the series against the Tampa Bay Rays. Was a pinch hitter in last night's game, did not start the game. John Farrell saying wanted to keep him off the turf from starting 3 games in a row on turf. Ramirez lines to third, and Machado makes the catch at third base to end the inning. So good contact, but Machado on the catch. Orioles are coming up Red Sox don't score in the top of the first inning. The Orioles are coming up in the bottom of the first. Orioles starting lineup brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Alejandro Diaz in left field leads it off with Manny Machado at third base. Just made a nice catch. Jimmy Paredes is the DH with Adam Jones in center field. Chris Davis at first base. Delman Young in right field. Ray Navarro making his major league debut, just called up from AAA Norfolk today. Caleb Joseph does the catching, and Efrath Cabrera is at shortstop for the O's. Alejandro Diaz getting it started here for Baltimore in the bottom of the first inning. Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your local New England Audi dealer. Experience a new Audi A3 today. Rick Porcello's fourth star, 1 and 2, 6.63 earned run average, 19 innings, 16 strikeouts, 22 hits in 19 innings, and opponents hitting at 278 against him. Roughed up by the Orioles in his last start, a loss lasting 5 innings, giving up 12 hits and 8 runs. And Jerry, as you pointed out in the open, generally known as a sinker ball pitcher, ground ball pitcher, and that was not the case against the O's.
No, and he's given up 5 home runs on the season. That's something he's got to get turned around in a hurry.
And it's certainly tough here pitching in this ballpark. Diaz strikes out. He didn't like it at all. Spins out of the box, but Porcello strikes out Diaz to begin the night.
Now Porcello going to a curveball, shook off a couple of signs, wanted the deuce, and he gets it on the outside part of the plate, just barely. A generous call there by Demuth, the home plate umpire. Porcello will certainly take that strike zone.
One down in the inning for Manny Machado. It's the .218 average to begin the year. 3 homers, 11 runs batted in. Porcello in his career 3 and 6 with a 5.13 earned run average against Baltimore. First time that he has faced the same opponent in consecutive starts since 2013 when he faced the White Sox in back-to-back starts. His pitch arsenal, 53% fastballs, 36 on the breaking ball, and 11% of the time the changeup. Two-one to Machado. Did you feel like you had an advantage facing a guy twice in the same week?
Well, it depends who the pitcher was.
Yeah.
If it's a guy that you felt comfortable against, yes. But if it's a guy you struggled against, no. Because it seems like there are those guys you struggle against any game you face them. Doesn't happen a lot, does it?
No, doesn't seem to. And a swing and a miss there, half-heartedly to say the least, by Machado. Back-to-back strikeouts for Porcello.
Now the Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. The Red Sox 7th in the league, 9 errors in 16 games. Pablo Sandoval at third base, Brock Holt the shortstop, Dustin Pedroia at second, Mike Napoli at first. Left to right, Hanley Ramirez, Mookie Betts, Daniel Nava, and Brian Hannigan doing the catching for Porcello.
2 down here in the bottom of the first inning. Jimmy Paredes, the DH. With Sandoval standing at the lip of the grass at third base. And a swing and a miss on the fastball.
Second strikeout for Porcello, a fastball that comes back a little bit toward the outside part of the plate. A little good movement on that fastball for the strikeout.
Curveball that time that just misses. Paredes off to a good start in the year. 350, a home run, 2 runs batted in. He was activated when the Orioles were in Boston over last weekend. Fouled off to the left out of play.
Orioles certainly had a tough time up in Toronto the last 3 days. Getting swept by the Blue Jays, and some harsh feelings up there between Jose Bautista and that man right there, Adam Jones.
Well, the Orioles throwing behind Batista, then he homered and took a long time to get around the bases, and Adam Jones taking exception to it, as many of the Orioles did. Brady's thought about it, pitch in the dirt. They checked, did he go? No, says Chris Conroy, third base umpire. Let's start Adam Jones is out. We saw him last weekend. He's hitting a cool .424.
That's all.
25 hits and 59 at bats to begin the year for him. Up high for ball 3, full count. Now Porcello third among major league pitchers in pitchers per game, 105. That's what he's averaged so far in the year. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out the side. A much better start tonight for Rick Porcello. Scoreless after 1. Yes, it'll be Mike Napoli, Pablo Sandoval, and Daniel Nava to bat in the inning. Miguel Gonzalez gave up a leadoff base hit to Mookie Betts, and then went on to get Pedroia, Ortiz, and Ramirez to end the first inning, and Betts never advanced from first base. 12 first inning pitches for Miguel Gonzalez. In there for a strike to Napoli. Well, Mike in the series in Tampa Bay, 2 for 7, 0 for 4 in last night's game. A little different looking lineup tonight, Jerry. Not only is Brock Holt in there, but Sandoval kind of dropped down in the order, with Napoli moving up to the 5th spot in the order.
John Farrell trying to jumpstart this offense some way, and sometimes just by moving a couple of guys in the order, you can get things going. We gave you those numbers, 1 for 23 with men in scoring position down in Tampa Bay.
Napoli carves it foul off to the right, out of play. That was right down the middle at 90 miles an hour.
Certainly a pitch that Napoli had right there to drive, and he fouls it a little bit late on that fastball and fouls it off to the first base side.
Napoli hits it in the air to right field. Back goes Delman Young. It'll take him to the warning track, and he makes the catch in front of that 373 marker for the first out of the second inning. The membership has its privileges. Learn how you can join the most exclusive sports membership in Boston as a Red Sox season ticket holder. Email new season tickets at redsox.com or visit redsox.com/season tickets today for more information. And Napoli giving it a ride to right field, but he is out number 1. It's now 4 in a row retired by Miguel Gonzalez. And here's Pablo Sandoval.
I was watching batting practice, and a lot of those long fly balls were getting knocked down by the breeze. Now, the breeze doesn't seem quite as bad right now as it was earlier this afternoon.
Rolls it over foul, getting a piece, and Sandoval down 0-2.
Split-fingered fastball down and away from Sandoval, and just tapping it. Ball not a strike outside the strike zone. That's certainly a pitch he will chase, and a lot of times make solid contact on it.
This is the first time that Pablo Sandoval has ever played at Camden Yards. Played 9 career games against Baltimore, but all were at home in San Francisco. And he shoots this to left. He has it coming in and plays it on a hop. Base hit for Sandoval on his first at bat here at Camden Yards.
Well, he'll swing at about anything, and that ball there had to be about neck high. Watch this fastball up high above the net. And he's able to get on top of it somehow, get the hands up, and get that ball to drop in front of Diaz out there in left field for the base hit.
That's one of the things in watching him that has really kind of surprised me is how he can go up there and get those.
Yeah, he gets his hands above the ball. I mean, he doesn't dip his hands down and pop those balls up. But he'll chase them, won't he?
Oh, he's not afraid.
He'll climb the ladder with you.
So 1 out, 1 on. Daniel Nava, the batter. They're in a shift here on Nava, as that's a strike, I guess. Nava 214, no homers and 6 runs batted in. 1 for 7 in the series in Tampa Bay. Going to come in on him now. And he fouls it straight back, down 0-2. Hit by Sandoval, the second hit of the night for the Red Sox. Mookie Betts had led off the first with a single. Now Pablo Sandoval with a 1-out single. Pearson going to work on somebody's glove. And tight to Nava, 1-2. Holt back in the starting lineup tonight, waits on deck with 1 out and Pablo Sandoval at first base here in the Boston second inning. And a foul to the screen. We'll do it again, 1-2.
Not a very good split at that time. It stayed up in the zone, and a good pitch for Nava to hit, but fouls it back.
Showalter and his Orioles have lost 4 straight games coming into this series. 25th pitch of the night coming up for Miguel Gonzalez. Nava fouls it off of Caleb Joseph. Joseph appears to be all right. Gonzalez, 30 years old, born in Guadalajara, Mexico. Resides in California during the offseason. Made his major league debut in May of 2012. Brings a 1-2 pitch. And Nava takes it for ball 2. Let's see, his 7th pitch of this at bat now. Seems like Nava's getting closer and closer to the plate.
I think that's why you're seeing some of these fastballs inside too. They show him something outside, then they're trying to get him out inside. Now they're going back away.
Fouls it off, protecting the plate. Red Sox right now in a 3-way tie atop the American League East with the Yankees and the Blue Jays. After dropping 2 out of 3 in St. Petersburg to the Tampa Bay Rays. Nava sends one out towards right center field. Adam Jones got a good jump and gets there without a problem. 2 down in the inning as Sandoval heads back to first base. Well, tomorrow at 5, don't miss the real-life NBA discussion of business and baseball featuring John Henry and Jack Welch. Learn how to build a team and win the game in business and in baseball tomorrow at 5. Holt hitting at .414 and getting another start at shortstop. Now 2 of the last 3 games that he has started at shortstop. John Farrell not saying that it is a platoon type situation, but all of a sudden now you're seeing Holt start to make some starts here in place of Xander Bogaerts.
Yeah, Bogaerts had a pretty good night last night too. Got a base hit to the opposite field, hit another ball hard. Holt in there tonight.
To strike down to Brock Holt. Holt 0 for 3 in the series against Tampa Bay. Did not play in last night's game, and 15 career games against the Orioles. Has hit at .320 against the O's. On the ground and foul.
Hey guys, yeah, so Brock Holt, John Farrell was talking about him in his pregame scrum, saying that tonight's matchup made sense for Holt, and he just wanted to give him another opportunity at shortstop, but he did say it's a hard position to platoon, so that wasn't the case, as you guys are saying.
Holt down on the count here, 1-2. Elevates and misses, 2-2.
Holt 2 for 7 in his career against Gonzalez.
And Hannigan waiting on deck, number 9 man in the Red Sox order. On the ground, back to Gonzalez. Spears it and fires to first for the out that ends the inning. Red Sox leave a runner, inning and a half done from Baltimore without a score.
That was very strong first inning for Porcello, striking out the side against Diaza on a curveball, a fastball to Machado away, and a fastball up and away to Paredes. 3 strikeouts for Porcello in inning number 1.
Scoreless as we head to the bottom of the second inning. And it is Adam Jones, Chris Davis, and Delman Young to face Rick Porcello. 424, 5 homers, 16 RBIs for Adam Jones, 25 for 59, the breakdown. Tonight's Cold Hard Facts are brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Adam Jones off to the great start, leading the majors in average, hits, second in RBIs, slugging, and runs. Popped up, foul ground, back comes Hannigan as far as he can go, but he won't have a play. Porcello in his first outing in Philadelphia took the loss, 6 innings, 3 runs. First win in a Red Sox uniform for Porcello came against the Nationals. In his second outing, 8 innings, giving up 4 runs, 3 earned. And then, as I mentioned, the very tough outing last time out against Baltimore, 5 innings, 12 hits, 8 runs, and allowing a career high 12 hits. Two-one pitch. Missed by a lot. Hannigan left it there for an extra second for DeMuth to take a look.
Well, a very close pitch right here. This time not going Porcello's way. That's exactly where he wants to keep that fastball too, down there. Create some ground balls.
Strike call. Jones didn't think so.
That was almost the same pitch, but up just a little bit. And this time it does go in Porcello's pocketbook.
Swing and a miss. Off balance swing. Fools Jones, who's still talking about the second strike. The Den and DeMuth. And that is the 4th strikeout in a row for Rick Porcello to start the night.
Yeah, Porcello right now is showing a very good curveball. One of the best we've seen him throw so far this season. That ball really had Jones off balance. Not expecting the breaking ball right there. You can tell by the swing. And then there's the words back there about the last pitch that was called a strike that Jones didn't think was a strike.
Big insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. One down here in the second inning. Chris Davis fouls the first pitch back. 232, 2 homers, 7 runs batted in. Red Sox shifting against Davis per usual. You're mentioning the home runs earlier that Porcello has allowed to Davis, 3 of them. Chris Davis 6 for 21 against Porcello, 3 home runs, and this one fouled to the screen, 1 and 2. Davis now, Delman Young next as the Orioles bat here in the bottom of the second inning. Down and in, and Davis not biting.
But again, there's that curveball from Porcello again, and very tempting that time for Davis. This one breaks down and away from inside, I mean, to Davis. But he thought about it. Now back to a changeup.
Swing and a miss, and Porcello has struck out the first 5 Orioles he's faced tonight.
Well, he's got him on all his pitches. He's got him on fastballs. He's got him on curveballs, and now a changeup. Follows a curveball up with a changeup and the off-balance swing by Davis.
Well, his season high this year is 6 strikeouts in an outing. His career high is 11. And he's got 5 to the first 5 batters of the ball game. There's Delman Young. 321, no homers and 2 RBIs for Young. Delman Young towards right center field. Mookie Betts will get over there and make the running catch that ends the inning. Another 1-2-3 inning for Porcello through 2. No score from Camden Yards. We head here to the top half of the 3rd inning, and Ryan Hannigan leads it off against Miguel Gonzalez. Hannigan out of the number 9 spot in the order as we check in with Sarah.
Yeah, Don. So with Ryan Hannigan expected to play up to 125 games this season, more than he's ever played in a year, he's taking the necessary steps to make sure he stays healthy. Today he told the Globe's Peter Abraham that he's getting daily massages from the Red Sox masseuse who travels with the team, and he's also doing daily ice baths. John Farrell also mentioned Hannigan's really taking advantage of the resources that the Red Sox have to make sure that he can go the distance this season.
Somewhat unexpected for Ryan as he headed into spring training. Really is the backup catcher to Christian Vasquez, and now playing on a more regular basis. Vasquez lost for the year, and this time he lines out to Chris Davis at first base. Good contact, but right at Davis. Red Sox have had some good contact, but not a lot to show for it. Only 2 hits allowed by Gonzalez in 2 1/3, and Mookie Betts has 1 of those hits. That's with a single to center field in the 1st inning. And speaking of Red Sox catcher, Jason Varitek with the club right now. Working with the catchers prior to the ball game today. So Tech periodically during the season check in, and certainly during spring training this past year and last couple of years really for Jason Varitek.
Yeah, when I saw him in the clubhouse this afternoon, he was watching video prior to most of the players getting into the ballpark.
To 1 pitch, and that gets Betts. He's hit by the pitch and aboard for the 2nd time tonight.
The ball just kept running back in on Betts, and looks like it gets him on the elbow, the back elbow. Just a glancing blow that time. But Betts will take it and make his way down to first base.
He's asking about the swing. He wants to check with the first base umpire to see if he was swinging. And right now, Dana Demuth said he's not going to ask. Buck is in contact with the umpires quite a bit.
He's on top of things. There's no question about that.
Done an incredible job here with the Orioles over the years. '40th pitch coming up here for Miguel Gonzalez. And back to the bag is Betts. And you've said over the years that Earl Weaver would be also talking to the umpires quite a bit. We saw him a lot of his tantrums on the field, but he was also in contact with them during the course of the game quite a bit.
Yes, and a lot of times he'd be hiding in the tunnel.
Of course, it is Earl Weaver's number that you can see right next to Buck Showalter in that dugout. Hall of Fame manager's number there.
You could actually hear him. You're at the plate. You could hear him yelling from the tunnel. You couldn't see him down there, but you could hear him yelling on the very first pitch of the game.
And of course, that was the old Memorial Stadium.
Yes.
On a strike now to Pedroia. Dustin popped out to Chris Davis at first base in the first inning, 0 for 1. David Ortiz waiting on deck. The Sox have had a base runner in every inning so far, but have not been able to get anybody to second base yet against Miguel Gonzalez. Now Pedroia will pop it up infield, and Machado coming in on the grass. 2 down. Now for every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CVS Pharmacy make a donation to Boston Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 commitment once again this season. CVS Pharmacy, the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox fans cheering the introduction of David Ortiz. Certainly drowned out by the boos from the Orioles fans here at Camden Yards. As David takes strike one. Orioles into the shift on the right side on Big Papi. This shift has Navarro, the second baseman, in short right. To the screen, foul, 0-2.
Oh, good pitch there, too. Breaking ball, and Ortiz missed that one. He's swinging the bat well. These are pitches that he does not miss. That's just kind of a rolling curveball up to home plate.
For the first jam, back to the bag is Betts. Betts takes off as Ortiz lines one to left. Diaz will play it on the hop. Betts keeps going to third, and he will get there without a problem. First and third with 2 down.
Those are the kind of swings right now I like to see out of Ortiz, because when he's drilling the ball that way to left field, it means he's keeping his front shoulder on. Right there, right down on the baseball, head on it, shoulder on it, and driving it hard to the opposite field. The pulling, that will come. Mookie Betts, nobody at third base, continues on. So the Red Sox, something going here with 2 outs.
Chance here for Hanley Ramirez, who lined out sharply to Manny Machado his first time up, 0 for 1. Inside, almost hit Ramirez. He spins out of the box.
A 2-seam fastball that time, running inside on the hands of Hanley Ramirez. Just missing his elbow.
That's at third. Ortiz at first with 2 down. Now Ramirez hits a fly ball out to right center field. Adam Jones headed over to make the catch shy of the track to end the top of the third. Red Sox stranding 2 more. They've left 4. No score. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Cool night here tonight in Baltimore. Scoreless as we head to the bottom of the third inning, and the Major League debut tonight for Ray Navarro. Numbers from last year in the minor leagues, hitting at .282, 12 homers, 57 runs batted in. There's a couple of games this year at AAA Norfolk before the call-up. Today, the Orioles put Ryan Flaherty on the DL with a groin pull, and Jonathan Scope already on the DL, so missing some middle infielders is Buck Showalter. So Ryan Flaherty had a good series against the Red Sox at Fenway Park last weekend, and today goes on the DL. In there for a strike hand, it's 1-2.
There's that curveball again for Porcello. Very, very good in the early going.
Navarro strikes out looking. That is 6 strikeouts for Porcello. He's retired 6 of the first 7 batters he's faced tonight.
Yeah, comeback at that time. 2-seam fastball. Starts it inside. Comes back toward the plate. And it's one that the left-handed hitter just gives up on.
One down here in the third inning. Caleb Joseph, the catcher. As the Orioles were still waiting for the return of Matt Wieters. But in the meantime, Caleb Joseph's done a pretty good job.
Every time we see him, Don, he seems to do a very good job against the Red Sox.
Saw the .333 average for him on the year. Fastball by him, and it was up. Everth Cabrera waiting on deck. One down here in the third inning. Just had a 7-game hitting streak snapped. Lines one down the left field line, foul. The Boston-based daily fantasy company DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of your Boston Red Sox, is giving out $300 million in cash prizes. Enter promo code NESSON to play for free. One out here in the bottom of the third inning. Caleb Joseph, the batter, with the count of 2-2. Ball four, and a walk to Joseph, first base runner of the night for the Orioles. Well, tomorrow at Nessa, catch a special day at Fenway Park when college baseball gets to play in the dirt. Enjoy a baseball showcase game between Florida A&M University and North Carolina Central beginning at 2. One down, Caleb Joseph at first base, and Everett Cabrera, the batter, shortstop for the Orioles. 231 start to his season. Tried to hold up, but it's a called strike. On the DL twice last year with the San Diego Padres, was a National League All-Star in 2013. Before he had his season cut short by the 50-game PED suspension. He's the third Nicaraguan-born player to be named to the All-Star team. On one pitch. And that is in there for strike 2. Hannigan was deep in thought prior to putting that sign down, and the backhand that time, trying to keep that from getting away, and that's played by Hannigan as it turned out.
That's a great play by Hannigan. He thought this ball was going to be away, and he has to reach all the way across his body, make a split, and be able to catch that ball, keep it from going back to the backstop. Very quick reactions by Hannigan behind the plate there.
Cabrera fouls it off to the left out of play. Navarro struck out looking to begin the inning. Caleb Joseph walks. One out, one on. And number 9 man Everett Cabrera battling here. The count of 2-2. Red Sox infield at double play depth. Sharply hit and picked beautifully by Pedroia. To second for one, on to first for 2. Oh, what a pick by Pedroia on a ground ball that exploded on him. Able to grab it and start the 4-6-3 double play. communities first. Eastern Bank helps make good things happen. Watch how good things are happening to local people at easternbank.com/goodthingshappen. A good thing just happened for the Red Sox as Dustin Pedroia with a great play at second base to initiate. Double play that ends last inning. It's on to the fourth as Mike Napoli leads it off.
Well, the play by Pedroia was terrific. I mean, this ball rocketed and it was like had top spin on it. And that ball's just about by him as he's able to corral it and get it to Brock Holt for the double play. Porcello loves that. Beautiful play by Pedroia.
Mike Napoli was not enamored with the first pitch strike call. And now grounds one back up the middle. Ranging is Cabrera. Plants and throws to get Napoli. Good rangy play turned in by the Orioles shortstop.
Only one error on the season so far for Everett Cabrera at shortstop, and shows a little range right here as he goes behind second base. Has plenty of time to plant and make the throw to get Napoli at first.
One down here in the fourth inning. It brings up Pablo Sandoval. Sandoval hits it in the air to left. Down the line on the run is Diaza. He will get there to make the catch for out number 2. Well, Ace Ticket, the official Red Sox ticket partner, has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway, all with a 200% guarantee. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games, including the Yankees. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MY-SEATS. Cool night here tonight for those in attendance at Camden Yards. Players in the long sleeves tonight. Mid-50s and dipping down as this game gets underway. Nava takes strike one.
Yeah.
Can't prepare tonight.
This is just cool tonight. Philly was cold.
Yep.
This is cool.
Yeah, you know it's pretty cool when you and I have winter hats on.
Yeah,
that took it to a new level.
That's cold.
Nava shoots it down the left field side, but foul. The breeze has pretty much subsided out there. What is our fearless? Remember him? He's a superhero. He's out of shape guy.
Yes. Yes, he is.
It's amazing how the superheroes of yesteryear have kind of gone downhill over the years. You expect less from your superheroes today than you did maybe 10-15 years ago.
What do they call you? Metabolism? That changes as you get older.
Yeah. Lose a lot of your powers. You don't remember him? He was here a couple years ago.
I remember yesterday, Don.
That's true. The 0-2 pitch. He's in the dirt. Teams have been shifting on Daniel Nava, as the Orioles do here tonight. And really deep into right field is Navarro, the second baseman. Nava rolls it over foul by the Orioles dugout. One-two pitch jammed. Here is Nava, and it's a pop-up, and he wants it. So going to get it is Miguel Gonzalez, the pitcher. It's been easier for Cabrera, but it's Gonzalez who makes the catch. No score through 3.5. Doesn't just mean making life simpler, it means finding new technology that puts your needs first. See what's new at easternbank.com. Here, you're first. Eastern Bank. Scoreless as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Porcello back on the hill. 6 strikeouts through the first 3 innings for Porcello tonight. Alejandro Diaza struck out looking in the first innings. He got one of those 6 Ks tonight. It's a fly ball to right center field. Mookie Betts from center stepping in front of Nava to make the catch for the first out here at the bottom of the 4th inning. I remind you to tune in tonight after our Red Sox coverage in Essence Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. Jameson and Nicky will preview Game 4 of the Celtics-Cavaliers series. See what know-how can do. 1 away here in the 4th, and it brings up Manny Machado. Struck out swinging in the first inning, 0 for 1. Missed by a lot, 2-0. Foul down the right field line, out of play. What are you seeing tonight differently so far from Porcello you didn't see last time out?
Well, he's got a better fastball than he had, and you can see the pitch arsenal this season, 53% fastballs over the course of the season. But tonight it's a little bit different. Tonight 71% right now. He's also got a very good curveball. The 22% that he's thrown have been very good. There's another high fastball right there. And I think that went into the Orioles broadcast booth.
Jim Palmer got it, Hall of Famer. Two-two pitch. And the breaking ball kind of slipping out of his hand, missing inside. Full count. Paredes waiting on deck. Orioles batting here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Foul again. Machado putting in a pretty good battle here. A slow start of the season. Was hitting towards the bottom of the order for the Orioles when the Orioles were at Fenway Park last weekend, but moving to the 2 spot now. Hitting a 218 coming in, and 0 for 1 so far tonight. Machado lines one to center field. First hit of the night for the Orioles. Pretty good at bat turned in there by Machado.
And gets the fastball, and he gets it right down the middle of the plate. Takes it into center field for the base hit. He came into the game a .333 hitter against Porcello. Now 1 for 2 tonight. Line shot to center field. Mookie Betts plays on a couple of hops.
We'll see how the Orioles do here second time through against Porcello. So far out in a single. Here's Jimmy Paredes' second look at Porcello. Pretty good pitch, but called the ball.
That's that curveball again, and to me that's been very, very good, the ones he's thrown tonight, and I thought that was a good one.
Back inside. He's able to strike out Paredes back in the first inning.
Slider right out of hands right there of Paredes.
Machado at first base, one down here in the fourth inning. Runner goes, Paredes swings and fouls it off. That time Machado was in motion. Now Sunday on NESN Plus, catch the ACC Women's Lacrosse Championship game live. Coverage begins at 1 p.m. Find your NESN Plus channel. Visit NESN.com/NESN Plus. One down, Manny Machado at first base, and Jimmy Paredes with a count of 1-2. Did not get their first hit until his fourth inning with one down. Rick Porcello started the night by retiring the first 7 Orioles he faced, striking out the first 5 to begin the game for the right-hander. Paredes fouls another one back. With Adam Jones waiting on deck here for the Orioles. Red Sox in the midst of a stretch of 7 consecutive series and 22 consecutive games, all against American League East opponents. Pitched 60 of the night for Porcello. And it's driven to deep right field. Back goes Nava, and that ball is gone. 2-run home run for Jimmy Paredes, his second. And the Orioles take a 2-0 lead. Home run problems continue for Rick Porcello.
They sure do. That's number 6 he's allowed on the season, and this time it's a slider. They had been trying to go inside with sliders all night, but that was just flat. And it stayed out over the middle of the plate. Porcello knew it right away. Had really no spin on it at all.
Those 6 home runs allowed by Porcello leads the American League in that category.
And the Baltimore Orioles lead the American League in home runs.
And now lead this game 2-0. Now Jones, right after that first pitch, fouls it back. Adam Jones struck out swinging in the second inning. Second time through here has been a different story so far for the O's. Two balls and a strike. Chris Davis waiting on deck. Porcello last year gave up a total of 18 home runs. In 31 starts and 204 2/3 innings. Most he's ever given up in any season, 23 home runs back in 09 with the Tigers. Into center field and a base hit for Adam Jones.
Looked like another hanging slider that time from Porcello, and right back up the middle for Adam Jones. little bit toward the outside part of the plate, but Jones covers the plate, hooks it right up over the head of Porcello.
One down, Jones at first base. Here's Chris Davis. Davis, a strikeout victim in the second inning. He went swinging. Red Sox shifting on the right side of the infield. Swing and a miss for Davis. Look back over the course of Red Sox starting pitching so far this year. And the middle portion of the game has really been a problem. Innings 4, 5, and 6. This runs inside, snapped over to first, and just back to the bag was Jones. Hannigan trying to throw behind Davis and catch Jones napping at first.
And that ball almost hit Davis. You're going to see this pitch come inside, almost hit him. Then Hannigan, the release to first base.
Jones came back awkwardly.
He sure did.
Foot.
Almost sliding with that left foot. Like he had skates on.
Takes off and it's grounded back to the mound. Porcello still going to second, gets the man there and fires to first for the double play. So Jones was running, but they still get him and turn their second double play of the game. The Orioles take a 2-0 lead. But it's twice the speed at half the cost. The HP Office Jet Pro X clocks in at 70 pages per minute. Get yours today for up to 50% off from who but WB Mason. Nice play there by Rick Porcello last inning to start that double play.
Yeah, he took a gamble, especially with that runner off at first base to go to second base, but they do get the force out. Holt making himself a first baseman by stretching out and then completes the double play. So good heads-up play by Porcello, good play by Holt. The Red Sox got some work to do to come back.
Fifth inning and Brock Holt. Grounded back to the mound in the second inning, 0 for 1. Gonzalez so far has allowed 3 hits. He has hit a batter. Red Sox left 4 men on through the first 3 innings and then went 1, 2, 3 in the 4th inning. Ryan Hannigan and Mookie Betts here in the top of the 5th. Trying to come inside on Holt. He lifts a fly ball to left field. Playable for Diaza for the first out of the 5th inning. It's time for a game break brought to you by Jordan's, the furniture store of the Boston Red Sox. Tom? All right, Tom, thanks very much back here at Camden Yards. Yeah, an amazing turnaround for the Mets so far this season, leading the National League East 13-3 heading into that action. Tonight's game, but taking a beating right now by the Yankees. Winning 11 games in a row. Of course, we saw the Mets during spring training in St. Lucie, spring home of the Mets. One down here for Ryan Hannigan. Lined out to the first baseman, Chris Davis, in the 3rd inning. To second base, and Navarro throws out Hannigan, 2 down. Now, for every Red Sox hit this month, Echo Store Technologies will donate $50 to the Clada Fund, the charitable foundation of the Dropkick Murphys. Echo Store and the Clada Fund working together to raise funds for child causes, veteran support, and to help those battling addiction. Learn more, log on to echostore.com. Echo Store Technologies, your data center solutions provider. 2 outs and 6 in a row now retired by Miguel Gonzalez. He's not been able to retire Mookie Betts yet tonight. And singled off him to center field in the 1st, and then was struck by a pitch in the 3rd. Gonzalez falling behind now. 3-1 in the count. He's not walked anybody, nor has he struck anybody out. Trying to come in on Betts. And Mookie with a swing and a miss, full count. Did run in at 90 miles an hour.
A little movement on that fastball too. You can see it coming back in toward Mookie Betts. Thought he had the barrel of the bat on it. All of a sudden, the movement on the fastball.
All 4, Betts on again. 3rd time he's been aboard tonight. There's the first walk given up by Gonzalez. One on with 2-way, and Dustin Pedroia coming up. Dustin has popped out twice, once to 1st and once to 3rd. Now 2 for his last 15 at the plate. For the first, and Betts diving back safely.
Fastball right there. We see Gonzalez this season 53% fastballs, but tonight the number's a little bit higher, 66%. 11% of those split-fingered fastballs, which are listed under changeups.
Outside, it is a ball and a strike now to Pedroia. David Ortiz on deck. There are 2 outs here, though, in the top of the 5th, as Miguel Gonzalez able to get Brock Holt to fly out to left, and Hannigan to ground out to second before the base on balls for Mookie Betts. Now the 1-1, and Betts starts and stops. There's a ground ball that is going to get through into left field. Betts stopping at second base. A single for Dustin Pedroia, and the Red Sox have something going with 2 down in the inning.
That's been sliders that have been hurting the pitches. Certainly it hurt Porcello with a home run. Now a slider that's taken for a base hit with 2 outs by Pedroia. So that gives Ortiz a chance with a couple of men on base.
David tonight is flied out to left and single to left. Call the ball. Gonzalez wanted it. 1-0. Ortiz fouls it back. That was a pretty good pitch to work with right there.
Yeah, he's had a couple tonight that have been right down the heart of the plate and fouling him off. There's a fastball right down the middle.
That's at second. Pedroia at first. 2 down here in the 5th. Bust him in, and it's up high for ball 2. Ortiz hits it high in the air and deep to right field. Back goes Young at the wall. That ball is gone. Home run for David Ortiz with 1 swing of the bat. The Red Sox take a 3-2 lead. Just out of the reach of Delman Young in right field, and the Red Sox lead it 3-2. All of this coming with 2 outs in the inning.
Yeah, I believe that was a split-fingered fastball that time that stayed up in the zone from Gonzalez. Something off speed at 83 miles an hour. I believe it was the splitter and a high home run that's just going to make it into about the second row of those seats. For a minute, it looked like Delman Young may be able to jump and make a play on it, but couldn't get to it.
Oh, Hanley Ramirez.
There's Delman Young going back to the wall, leaps.
Wow.
And fan caught it.
Yes, he did. This is driven to deep left field for Hanley Ramirez. Back goes Diaza at the wall. It's gone. Sox go back to back. David Ortiz and Hanley Ramirez. Boston on top 4-2.
Well, Hanley last night in the game pinch hitting took a slider. He didn't take that one again. It didn't do very much, just spinning a little bit. And Ramirez, who put on quite a show in batting practice today, he was putting them all over that left field stands. Back to back with Ortiz. All this with 2 outs.
First time the Red Sox have gone back to back on the year, and it's Ortiz and Ramirez. These 6 home runs now For Ramirez, he is only behind Nelson Cruz, who is setting the pace in the American League with 8. Seattle Mariners. And Napoli looking for his first home run of the year. Check swing, didn't mean to do it, but he grabs the bat and fouls it off over by the Orioles dugout. For Miguel Gonzalez, he gets Holt to fly out to left, Hannigan to ground out before the walk of Mookie Betts gets it started. Pedroia with a base hit, and David Ortiz with a 3-run home run, followed up by the solo shot by Hanley Ramirez. Napoli strikes out to conclude the inning. With the damage done, Sox go back-to-back. Big Papi, then Hanley Ramirez, and it's 4-2 Boston through 4.5. Red Sox never forgets it. Before you're a patient, you're a person. Beth Israel Deaconess, human first. Learn more at bidmc.org/human first. Well, David Ortiz, Hanley Ramirez going back-to-back. New life now for Porcello. And fly ball out to right center field that Mookie Betts will track down. Delman Young is out number 1 of the 5th inning. One out, and Ray Navarro coming up here for the Orioles.
So important right now to get the Red Sox back at the plate. You know, you've got momentum going. You've got 4 runs in the inning after 2 are out. 1, 2, 3 inning would be very nice right here.
He's on the grass at third is Sandoval. Navarro's major league debut tonight, and he takes strike 1. He struck out in his first major league at bat in the 3rd inning. Went looking. Fly ball to left center field. On the move is Ramirez, and Hanley can't catch it. Off the glove, and Navarro to second base standing. Ramirez kind of drifting back, and it goes off the glove that time.
Yeah, certainly a catchable ball. He went sideways instead of back. And then once he started to go back, it was too late. Watch him cut across, then go back, and can't make the over-the-shoulder catch. I'm afraid that's what you're going to have to live with for a better part of the season this year out in left field with Hanley Ramirez trying to learn that position.
It is ruled a double and the first major league hit for Ray Navarro. Caleb Joseph walked in the third inning. The only walk served up by Porcello. Well, fly ball out to center field, sending Mookie Betts back. And over to make the catch in front of the warning track. Tagging at second is Navarro. He'll get to third without a problem. With now 2 outs in the inning. Here comes Everett Cabrera with 2 outs and a runner at third base. Cabrera grounded into the 4-6-3 double play in the third inning. Red Sox have been able to turn 2 double plays in this game so far. Swing on the fastball for strike one. Six consecutive first pitch strikes for Porcello. He starts off ahead again. Outside for ball 2, 2-1. Red Sox playing for Cabrera to go the other way. They get the center field of Mookie Betts shallow and into left center. And over towards the line now is Ramirez. Field for a base hit, and from third comes Navarro. Orioles back within a run. 4-3 now, Boston on top. So it was ruled a hit. Misplay out there in left field for Hanley Ramirez turns into a run quickly for the Orioles.
Cabrera hit the ball hard the first time up. It ended up being a double play. This time he gets a pretty good sinker down and away. And lifts that ball into the air in front of Ramirez for the base hit. That fastball actually had pretty good action on it, dipping down and away, but some good hitting by Cabrera.
Down Cabrera at first base. Here is Alejandro Diaz, the first to check at first base on Cabrera.
He's got 1 steal on the season, has not been caught. Orioles as a club have not run very much.
Pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket for Rick Porcello. 4 2/3, 5 hits, 3 runs. Walks and 6 Ks. 77 pitches into his outing right now. In the night by striking out the first 5 Baltimore Orioles that he faced in the game, and those 6 strikeouts came in the first 7 batters of the game. Hasn't had a strikeout since the 3rd inning. Runner goes. Diaz swings and misses. The throw is high and not in time as Cabrera steals second base.
Not a great jump at first base, but a high throw here from Hannigan, and by the time Holt catches it, comes down with it. The stolen base for Cabrera, his second. So the O's being a little bit more aggressive than they normally are on the bases.
In the air to left field, Ramirez came in. Now he goes over and makes the catch. So an adventure of an inning in left field for Ramirez. Makes the grab. It's a one-run game. Red Sox have a 4-3 lead. For Miguel Gonzalez, brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, all of them coming in the top half of the 5th inning. 2 home runs. Pablo Sandoval takes a look at ball 1. Sandoval singled in the 2nd inning, flied out to left in the 4th. Fouls that one off the mask of Caleb Joseph and actually got the umpire. Dana DeMuth.
Got him pretty good too. You see that mask rattle around a little bit. Big smile on his face though, so he's okay.
Sandoval fouls it back. 1-2. Daniel Nava, then Brock Holt, expected here in the 6th inning. Sandoval lines one out of the reach of Navarro and into right field. A base hit for Sandoval. His 2nd single of the night. Well, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live presented by DCU Federal Credit Union tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Adam Power and Jim Rice will preview Justin Masterson's start. DCU Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you? A good start to the 6th inning for the Red Sox. Pablo Sandoval with a base hit to right. Daniel Nava 0 for 2 in the contest. Flying out to center in the 2nd. Popped out to the pitcher in the 4th. Keeping the shift tight to the infield. Nava takes it high, and it's 2-0. Brock Holt on deck. Nobody out here in the Boston 6th inning. Nava swings away and lifts a fly ball down the left field line. Diaz with a long run will get there with plenty of time to spare for the first out of the inning. Well, Monday is Replica Fenway Park night at Fenway. All fans in attendance will receive a free replica model of Fenway Park presented by W.B. Mason. Visit redsox.com/promos for more information and to purchase your tickets now. Good crowd on hand at Camden Yards tonight in Baltimore for game 1 of this 3-game series. Brock Holt 0 for 2 tonight. Will line one towards right center field, in for a base hit. Pablo Sandoval touches second and stops there. And it's a good thing he did as the throw gets back in quickly. Red Sox have runners at first and second with one down.
Now Brock Holt ends an 0 for 11 stretch as he gets a pitch away from him and is able to hook the ball into center field for the base hit. Sandoval thinking about third, picks up the third base coach, and the brakes are on. Actually looked like Sandoval made that decision by himself. I don't think he liked the way he rounded second base and decided to stop.
Action starting now for the Orioles. The right-hander and Tommy Hunter just got up. Two on, one away. Ryan Hannigan, the batter. 0 for 2 from his number 9 spot in the Red Sox order. And again, lining out to first base in the 3rd, rounding out to second base in the 5th. Sandoval at second. Holt at first with one out in the Boston 6th inning. Back to the pitcher. Gonzalez will go to second for 1. Throw to first to get there in time for 2. Double play turned by the O's. A big one there for Gonzalez. 4-3 Boston. Tonight's baseball on NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Red Sox and Orioles here meeting for the first time at Camden Yards in 2015. Red Sox holding on to a 1-run advantage into the bottom of the 6th inning. Manny Machado, Jimmy Paredes, Adam Jones, 2, 3, and 4 scheduled for the Orioles.
Well, we've seen this a couple of times tonight. That was very well executed by the pitcher as he took a crow hop step going down the mound to make a good throw to his shortstop, and Cabrera doing the rest.
Manny Machado has struck out swinging. Single to center field. Swing and a miss. Jimmy Paredes, who homered in the 4th inning, waits on deck. Time call. Machado backing out. On the ground, deep third on the backhand. Sandoval's throw is not going to be picked by Napoli at first base. Glancing off the glove. And the error will be charged to Sandoval on the throw.
As Sandoval picks up his 3rd error of the season, just low. You could see it coming out of his hand. Goes to the backhand, gets up, and then the throw starts off low. And you knew it was going to bounce to first base. A tough bounce off the grass. Napoli can't make the play. Porcello frustrated.
Now he's going to deal with the guy that homered off him in the 4th inning. It was a 2-run shot for Paredes. His 2nd home run of the year. RBIs 3 and 4. He had just been activated off the DL last weekend in Boston. Now bats with nobody out and a runner at first. And a swing and a miss for strike 1. Well, his home run back in the 4th inning.
Slider that didn't slide.
The Sox had gone 6 straight games without committing an error. There's a fly ball down the left field line. Hanley Ramirez over, still going, and Ramirez makes the catch in foul ground. Taggett trying to get to second. Machado, and he will be out. Nice play and a good throw from Ramirez. First of all, the running catch out there in left for Ramirez, and then they nab Machado trying to get to second base.
Wow. I mean, you watch Hanley make a play like he did last inning and then come back and do this. All the way to the wall to make the catch, and then an accurate throw into second base. One hop to Pedroia. Pedroia is there waiting for the tag, the slide, and they get the double play. Now Porcello likes that much better.
Yeah, he preferred that to the throw from Sandoval. 2 down here in the 6th. Here's Adam Jones. And he will take strike 1. And struck out swinging in the 2nd. Single to center field in the 4th inning.
I tell you can't blame Machado for trying that either, going to second base, because how many times have we seen Hanley make a catch and just kind of lob the ball in? That time he let it go.
Not to mention how far he was down that left field line.
Yeah, a long way from second base.
His momentum was taking him towards the stands. Look where he ends up right at the railing over there.
Yeah, he goes as far as he can go. And the railing's what stopped him. Takes a peek. He sees the runner tag up and gets it back in.
Fouled straight back by Jones. He wanted that one. 2-2. Adam Jones has struck out and singled tonight, batting with 2 down, bases empty. I think that's Buck telling him that was a bad idea.
I don't know. There's a lot coming out of Buck's mouth right now.
He's doing a lot of talking. Swing and a miss, and Jones strikes out. 7th strikeout for Porcello. 4-3 Red Sox. To the 7th we go. To look at tomorrow's starting pitchers, Wei-Yin Chen in 3 starts, 0-1 with a 3.07 ERA. Starting on Monday against the Red Sox, took the loss after 4 1/3. And Justin Masterson in 3 starts, 2-0 with a 5.74 ERA. On Monday, he earned the win against the Orioles, allowing 1 earned run in 5 innings of work. Closer Look is brought to you by FWF. For an even closer look, visit FWF.com. 4-3, Red Sox have the lead over the Orioles as we head to the top half of the 7th inning. And Mookie Betts leading it off here as this call to the bullpen brought to you by Kia. Tommy Hunter into the game for the Orioles. His 8th appearance, 0-1 with an 8.10 earned run average. 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, and opponents hitting at .269 against him. A 91 pitch effort tonight by Miguel Gonzalez in 6 innings. Give up a total of 8 hits to Boston. 4 runs, all coming in the 5th inning. Now Betts with a line drive base hit into left field, and Mookie is aboard for the 4th time tonight. I'll remind you to stay tuned tonight following WB Mason Extra Innings live for Red Sox Final, presented by Uno's. Tom Caron and Jim Rice will have highlights of Florida A&M and North Carolina Central from Pawtucket.
Now once again, Mookie Betts cleaning out that inside fastball. That thing was inside, and that quick bat of Betts able to clear it out, get the base hit, get things started here in the 7th.
Now Pedroia taking ball 1. On the ground to third base. Machado goes to second for one. That's all they're going to get. Navarro going up into the air to avoid the slide of Mookie Betts. And holds on to the baseball as Pedroia will reach it first.
Now once again a good hard slide by Betts at second base. Nothing dirty about this. Just going in hot. He's got great speed. He gets there quickly. And second baseman and shortstop are getting to know that. Instead of throwing that ball away, just take it by Navarro. Small things, but doesn't end up in a double play.
Now Ortiz takes strike one. And flied out to left in the first, singled to left in the third, and then homered in the fifth. Foul tip gets a piece of Caleb Joseph. Now here's tonight's T-Mobile game changer play. For the Red Sox, David Ortiz with his fourth home run of the year. A 3-run shot to give the Red Sox a 3-2 advantage, and then right afterwards, as the Red Sox go back-to-back, Hanley Ramirez with his 6th home run of the year. Pedroia takes off, a swing and a miss for Ortiz, and the throw is in time. Caught stealing is Pedroia. He doesn't think so. And John Farrell's going to come out here. We'll see if he challenges it. Could be a strike him out, throw him out, double play. We'll see as Farrell looks into the dugout. Has not yet committed to going out there. Still looking into Torey Lovullo to find out if he's going to challenge it.
Looked awfully close at second base. I thought Pedroia initially had it. Let's see. Oh, maybe not. Maybe the tag getting on that foot just before it got on the back. But they're gonna challenge it. We'll see. That's very, very close.
So the challenge here has been made by John Farrell. Basner, the umpire at second base, making the call.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut on this one because I have been way off on challenges recently. I'm in a challenge slump, Don. That's bang right there.
Very, very close.
That's almost like the glove and the foot get to the bag at the same time.
Maybe one of those where it's not conclusive enough to overturn it. As the call on the field is caught stealing at the moment after the strikeout of Ortiz. It would be a strike him out, throw him out, double play, but it is under review. He's out. Umpires have decided. Call stands on the field. And Pedroia is still not happy about it. 7th inning stretch, 4-3 Red Sox. Nesson Clubhouse, Sunday at noon. D'Angelo Ortiz learns some hitting tips from his dad. Shane Victorino takes the hot seat in an all-new Small Talk. And tour Wally's Clubhouse at Fenway Park. Catch it all Saturday at noon on Nesson Clubhouse, presented by Delta Dental of Massachusetts. Rick Porcello back on the mound for the bottom of the 7th inning. And it's Chris Davis who takes ball 1.
Well, one more look at that play at second base. And again, I think you're right, Don. There wasn't enough evidence to turn that over.
1-0 pitch up and away, and it's 2-0. Pitch. And that's going to miss for ball 3, 3-0. Craig Breslow warming in the Red Sox pen as Porcello starts the 7th inning. Pitch 95 coming up for Porcello. And it's in tight to Davis for ball 4. Leadoff walk for Chris Davis to start the bottom of the 7th inning. Well, Jerry, after the 3rd out of this inning, we will sort of keep it here. We're going to go to break, but we will keep it here with some interesting facts. We'll check out the Red Sox box score. Also took a deeper look into the Red Sox offense tonight and take a look around the league, all while we go to break.
Stats, facts, and fantasy after the 3rd out of this inning.
So Delman Young 0 for 2. He's lined out to center, flied out to center. And here comes Juan Nieves to buy some more time for Craig Breslow. Well, don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse tomorrow at 6. Adam Pellerin and Jim Rice will have highlights from the Florida A&M versus North Carolina Central college baseball game at Fenway Park. Breslow's good company now. Alexei Agondo warming in the Red Sox pen. A leadoff walk, never a good thing. And Chris Davis has got a leadoff walk to begin things here in the 7th inning against Porcello. Now Delman Young flares one to shallow center that's going to fall for a base hit. In front of Mookie Betts, Young aboard. Davis takes second, 2 on, nobody out.
Back on the phone, and out comes John Farrell.
He will make the change. Porcello walking the first batter of the 7th, and the base hit to center, and he leaves with 2 men on and nobody out in the 7th. Scholars presented by Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. Each year, the Red Sox Foundation awards college scholarships to academically talented, financially challenged Boston middle schoolers. And we thank donors such as H.B. Hood for funding these dreams of college. Our superhero friend helping out the bird here in Baltimore in between innings.
Something we really don't need to see.
It's kind of gross. Greg Breslow in for his 7th game, has not given up a run in 10 1/3. 9 strikeouts, 5 walks, and opponents sitting at 118 against Greg Breslow. Rosillo chased from the game after 97 pitches. First time that he's not eclipsed 100 pitches in an outing this year, and responsible for the 2 men on. They are Chris Davis at second base, Delman Young at first base, with nobody out in a 1-run game.
And the Red Sox in expecting the potential bunt right here. Napoli in tight at first base. Sandoval in a few steps at third base.
Drops the bunt down, foul. Squaring again, getting it down. This time may stay fair. It does. Napoli throws low, but it is dug out by Pedroia. Sacrifice complete. And Napoli, as he realized that ball was not going to go foul, picked it up and throws to first base.
Yeah, look how close Napoli is, and he gets all the way to the third base line to make this play. No play at third for him, so he goes over the first base. Pedroia picks it on an endurance, but a successful sacrifice there. Men at second and third, 1 out.
Reminder in between innings to check out some Sox culture, trivia questions, and fantasy baseball stats. 1 out, second and third, and Caleb Joseph will now be put on with first base open. And that one almost got away. Everett Cabrera will be the batter after the intentional walk is complete here to Caleb Joseph. So down to first base goes Joseph, bases loaded, 1 out. Everett Cabrera coming up as Breslow on the backside of the hill in the midst of a meeting with himself. Now ready to work to Cabrera, who has grounded into a double play and single. Picked up an RBI on his single in the 5th inning. Ball 1. Cabrera hits a fly ball to deep left. Hanley Ramirez going back. He'll have room as he makes the catch, but tagging at third is Davis. He will score without a problem, and the Orioles have tied the score at 4. Sac fly for Everett Cabrera, and it's tied up.
Well, give Cabrera credit. You know, he got the ball in the air. He did what he had to do. They tried to load the bases and set up the double play. He gets a pitch that he can lift, and he lifts it deep enough, plenty deep enough, to get that run home from third base.
Yeah, deep enough for the other runners to tag up as well.
Yep.
And they get Delman Young to third, Caleb Joseph to second base on the sac fly, and John Farrell will make another change with Alejandro Diaz scheduled to bat. Craig Breslow will be coming out of this game. So the Orioles have tied the score here 4-4. The pitching change from Camden Yards in Baltimore. Live streaming sports service is celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, widget, and more. Every night on every device. Blackout other restrictions may apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Now the sacrifice fly for Everett Cabrera. The Orioles have tied up the game here in the 7th inning. Now looking for more with runners at second and third. And 2 down. It's Alexei Ogando into his 8th Red Sox game of the year. 3.86 earned run average, 6 strikeouts to a walk, and opponents hitting at 160 against Ogando. Through a scoreless 7th inning with a walk last night in Tampa Bay. So the opponents hitless in the last 13 at bats. And now DeMuth wants the baseball. Check it out here, and he's going to give Ogando another one.
Yeah, Ogando went to his mouth while on the rubber.
They charge him with the ball?
I think so, yeah.
Looked like he said 1-0 to the press box, and John Farrell coming out to argue it. So it's 1-0. Steve Pearce pinch hitting here for Alejandro Diaz. Pops it up. Out of play. Young at third base, Caleb Joseph at second base, 2 down in the 7th inning. Swing and a miss, that one by him. The high fastball at 93.
And 2 fastballs so far, and both of them up and in on Pearce. Good live fastball here by Ogando.
Umpire trying to get the attention of the press box to change the scoreboard to 1 and 2, and they have. Swinging a foul back, still 1 and 2, glancing off of Hannigan. Pearce pinch hitting here for Diaz. Could have held on, that would have been it. 2-2.
That ball had the outside corner. Ogando did not get the call.
Pierce going up and fouling it back. It was a pitch up at 94 that time.
Everything has been a fastball. Everything's been 93, 94 miles an hour. He really should be out of this inning.
Marcelo so far charged with 4 runs. He's responsible for Young at third base. Ball 3, full count.
I knew sooner or later he was going to mix in a slide, but Pierce not biting for it. Adam Jones on deck. Excuse me, Machado on deck.
Pierce takes ball 4 and heads down to first base. Third walk of the inning, charge to the Red Sox, and the bases are loaded with 2 down.
Another close pitch, but again, not going Ogando's way. If he didn't get that 4th pitch, he was not going to get the 7th.
Manny Machado has struck out swinging, singled and scored, reached on an error last time up. Time granted. Machado backs out. Actually, Hannigan had called for time. Plate umpire Dana DeMute pointing to Hannigan. Machado fouls the first one off. 5 for 23 in his career with the bases loaded. Does have a grand slam to his credit. 0 for 1 in this category this season. Inside, almost got away from Hannigan.
And again, nice play by Hannigan because he set up a way that ball came way inside. Able to reach up and catch the ball. I tell you, if the ball gets by Hannigan, it might bounce off that brick and come right back to him. The run might not have scored anyway.
Yeah, this looks to be about the shortest distance there is.
Yeah, and it comes back very hard off that brick surface.
1-1 pitch. In there for strike 2. At the bottom of the zone for Ogando. Bases filled with Orioles. Delman Young at third. Caleb Joseph at second. Steve Pierce at first. Tie game right now. Machado asks for time and backs out. Machado pops it up. Foul ground. Hannigan coming back. See if he's got a play at the screen. He does not. Into that first row behind the screen.
A lot of ballparks in the American League, National League, that would be an out, but not here in Baltimore, as you mentioned. Very close to the backstop.
So the battle continues between Agondo and Machado. Popped up, foul ground. Napoli going, as is Hannigan. Napoli in the slide, has no play. Ball and 2 strikes here to Manny Machado. Bases filled with Orioles. Agondo backs off. Machado will take a ball, and it evens at 2-2. Ball 3, full count. Everybody on the move.
Oh, these have been some tough battles. Pierce first, and now Machado.
Brady's limbering up on deck. Bases loaded. 2 down, full count to Manny Machado. They're standing in Baltimore. Machado strikes out. Agondo got him. 4-4 the score. We take a look at the Red Sox box score. Turn here to Baltimore. 4-4 the score, and Agondo Able to strike out Machado with the bases loaded. Keeps this game tied up as the Red Sox come to bat here in the 8th. Tommy Hunter back on the mound. 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Elizondo kept firing fastballs. And finally he gets the swing and miss from Machado, and a little bit fired up on the Red Sox after that strikeout.
So Porcello will not be part of the decision, as it turns out. He is charged with 4 runs in 6+ innings. And then Ramirez with a home run his last time up, as Ortiz and Ramirez went back to back. Now Hanley hits a ground ball towards third. Machado off balance throw, and it's going to be just in time. A pretty good stretch by Chris Davis at first. And Ramirez made that interesting, beating it on down the line.
Yeah, very good play by the Orioles right here by both Machado and Chris Davis. Machado with the quick hands to get rid of this ball in a hurry right there, and then the big stretch at first base by Davis. Doing the splits.
One down here in the 8th inning, and it brings up Mike Napoli. 0 for 3 in the game. He was flying out to the warning track in right, grounded out to short, and struck out. And swing and a miss for strike 1. Full teams with action in the pen. Brian Mattis up right now for the Orioles, and Tazawa in the background there for the Red Sox. Napoli hits a high fly ball to center field. Back goes Adam Jones. He'll have room as he makes the catch in front of the track. 2 down. And Buck Showalter goes running out as Tommy Hunter gets the first 2 outs of the 8th inning. He's got Mattis ready to go, and he will make the change here. So we'll see a third Orioles pitcher of the game. Mel Gonzalez, the starter, went 6 innings. Inning and 2/3 for Tommy Hunter.
And what he's going to do here is switch Sandoval around to the right side, where he's had his problems so far this season.
Now the Red Sox are trailing 2-0 in this game when David Ortiz was able to homer and put the Red Sox on top 3-2. The Big Papi, his 4th home run of the year. As Betts and Pedroia had set the table for David. And the Sox went back to back as Hanley Ramirez with his 6th home run. With the Red Sox at the time on top 4-2. The Orioles have come back with a single run in the 5th, a single run in the 7th to tie the game. Tonight's game summary is brought to you by Xfinity. Rick Porcello, again, not part of the decision tonight, goes 6+. Gives up 4 earned runs, 7 strikeouts. David Ortiz, Hanley Ramirez, nights 2 for 4, 1 for 4, both with home runs. Miguel Gonzalez, 6 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs, and Paredes at a 2-run shot for the Orioles. So with 2 down and the base is empty, to be Pablo Sandoval coming up, and he'll be dealing with the left-hander into the game. And Mattis makes his 6th appearance, 0-1 with a 3.68 earned run average. 6 walks, 4 strikeouts, and opponents hitting at .269 against him.
You know, when you look at Porcello's outing tonight, and it was a pretty good one, but again, there was not a lot of ground ball outs for him in this game tonight, which surprised me a little bit. He had a good curveball going in the game. Threw a lot of fastballs, especially early in the game, but not a lot of ground ball outs.
Pablo Sandoval coming up here with 2 outs, and Sandoval batting now. If they get to the next hitter, it will not be Nava, as Craig has come out on deck. He would pinch hit for Daniel Nava. Sandoval 2 hits in the game tonight, both singles, as he takes ball 1. Shift on here on the left side for the Orioles. Ball and a strike to Sandoval. Fouled straight back, 1-2. Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. Tom Caron and Jim Rice to break down Rick Porcello's start. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but WB Mason? Sandoval takes ball 2. Darren O'Day, right-hander, up now for the Orioles. Ground foul. Sandoval protecting the plate, fouling that back.
Trying to go back door with that breaking ball that time, and Sandoval able to foul it off. See another pitch.
Alan Craig waiting on deck to pinch hit. Ball 3, good at bat here for Sandoval at the moment. He'll see an 8th pitch. Sandoval with a walk, with 2 down here in the 8th inning. Now tomorrow on Dining Playbook, Billy and Jenny come to you from Legal on the Mystic. Visit TSNY Boston and see Jenny Trapeze. Plus hear from former paraplegic Tom Smith as he shares his powerful story and his foundation's mission. Catch all that and more tomorrow morning at 9 on Dining Playbook. So Mattis cannot get Sandoval. He walks him with 2 outs in the inning, and with Craig introduced, out goes Buck Showalter to make the pitching change. It's time now for the Geico Red Sox moment. All season long, Geico will highlight the 1975 Red Sox in honor of their 40th anniversary. Game 17 of that season, the Red Sox beat the Indians 7-6. Bill Lee earned the win, going 8 innings. Bernie Carbo and Jim Evans each homered for the Sox in a game that took 2 hours and 21 minutes. So now Darren O'Day checks in for the O's. Alan Craig will be the batter for Daniel Nava. Mattis faces 1 hitter and walks Pablo Sandoval. 8th game of the year for O'Day, a 1.13 earned run average, 7 strikeouts, a walk, and 8 innings of work already. Opponent's hitting at 111 against him. The Orioles had their chance as they had the bases loaded with the game tied 4-4 as we take a look at the Toyota play of the game, and Alexei Agondo able to strike out Machado to end the inning. Agondo has really come up with some key outs so far in the early portion of this season.
Now he's kind of settled into that 7th inning role if the Red Sox need him, with a game on the line or with the lead. And he's been up to the task with his fastball slider combination.
Craig pinch hitting at 143 so far in the year. No homers and a run batted in. Craig, who had started a game last night in Tampa Bay, 1 for 4 in last night's game. Coming off the bench to pinch hit here in the top of the 8th. Craig takes strike 1. First time that Craig has faced Aaron O'Day. Misses away, and it's a ball and a strike. High for ball 2.
Day with that slingshot delivery, the fastball slider mix.
Strike 2. Balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here with a runner at first for the Red Sox in the top of the 8th. Craig hitting for Nava right now. On the ground, foul just outside of third. High for ball 3, full count. Sandoval with a lengthy at bat against Mattis, and now O'Day battling with Craig with Brock Holt waiting on deck. The Sox have had some patient ABs here. Runner goes as Craig hits a ground ball left side under the glove, and Machado into left field. Heading for third is Sandoval. He'll get there. So Machado unable to pick it at third base, gets under the glove into left, and the Red Sox have a runner at third base now, 2 down, first and third.
Now that was like the bull going through the Matador, wasn't it? The way that he charged that, and the ball just goes right by him.
Olay.
I mean, his glove was not even close to that bounce.
He's charged with an error. Bases here. Runner at third, runner at first with 2 down, and Brock Holt the batter. Holt has a base hit single back in the 6th inning, 1 for 3. Chance to put the Red Sox on top here in the 8th. Ball 1. Sandoval at third base. Craig at first base, 2 down. The strike evens the count.
Left-handed hitter against a pitcher like this, you're thinking about the ball running away from you. The fastball especially.
Popped up foul, back it out of play, and now Holt down 1-2.
That time he comes to the slider right over the middle of the plate, but you could see Holt setting up to try to drill that ball to the opposite field.
Holt fouls it back again, stays alive. And a pitch up and away from Brock. Red Sox trying to take the lead here in the 8th inning in a 4-4 game. In the air to right field for Brock Holt. Back goes Delman Young. Onto the track at the wall. It's gone! 3-run home run for Brock Holt. The Brock Star puts the Red Sox on top, 7-4.
Well, enough of that looking away stuff. He tries to sneak a fastball by him inside, and Holt was certainly ready for it. After going away, he finally comes in, up and in. A pitch that's actually out of the strike zone, and Holt lifts it out of the ballpark.
A 7-4 Red Sox lead. Now Ryan Hanigan takes strike one. And Brock Holt, his second hit of the night. This one is huge for the Red Sox. Now Hanigan on the ground is short. Cabrera slides to his left, little stumble, but time to get Hanigan and end the inning. A 3-run home run for Brock Holt puts the Red Sox on top, 7-4. Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare on southwest.com. DraftKings. Back at Camden Yards in Baltimore, 7-4. The Red Sox have the lead over the Orioles thanks to the 3-run home run by Brock Holt. Holt's first of the year, 4 last year, and Holt has given the Red Sox a 3-run pad as Boston with a defensive change with Alan Craig staying in the game after pinch hitting for Nava. And the new pitcher for the Red Sox is Shinichi Tozawa. 9th appearance, not giving up a run yet in 8 innings worth of work this year. 9 strikeouts, 1 walk, and opponent sitting at just 148 against Tozawa. A scoreless 8th inning with 1 hit allowed last night in Tampa Bay. Jimmy Paredes leading it off here for the Orioles and taking strike 1.
Well, you look at all the Red Sox runs in this game, they've all come with 2 outs.
In there for a strike, and it's 0-2.
You know, we talked in the open, Don, about getting some big hits with men on base. And the Red Sox have been able to do that tonight. Some huge hits with men on base.
All the runs coming on home runs in tonight's game. Paredes lets that go by. It's ball 1, 1-2. Followed by Adam Jones, Chris Davis here in the 8th. To right field, Craig going back a step or 2 to make the catch for the first out of the bottom of the 8th.
One more look at Brock Holt's home run, and after everything had been away from him, he tries to sneak a fastball inside, and that ball's actually up and out of the strike zone, and Holt's able to lift it out of the ballpark.
One down here in the 8th inning. Adam Jones, the batter. Jones has struck out, singled, and struck out again. Fouls it off himself for strike 1. More action for the Orioles in the pen right now. Right-hander up and Jason Garcia. Out of that pen tonight for Buck Schultz. Already seen Tommy Hunter, Brian Mattis, and Darren O'Day. And 0-1 to Adam Jones. Fouled back, and it's 0-2.
Adam Jones doesn't waste much time, does he, with his plate appearances?
One of the most aggressive hitters, I think, in all of baseball.
4 walks, 6 strikeouts all season long.
Chris Davis waiting on deck. Popped up right side of the infield. Napoli in fair ground. Now steps into foul ground to make the catch, 2 down. So 2 big outs there, Paredes and Jones. The first 2 outs of the 8th inning. Before Chris Davis comes up here to face Tozawa. Struck out in the 2nd inning, grounded into a double play in the 4th, walked and scored in the 7th. Here he is in the 8th with the bases empty. That's how you prefer to work to Chris Davis. That's with the base is empty. 0 for 6 against Tazawa. Can't be overlooked again tonight, the work of the bullpen so far to this point.
Gondo, that work was very big for the Boston Red Sox to get out of that jam with the strikeout to Machado.
A 1-1 pitch coming here to Chris Davis. Framed by Hannigan, but it's outside. Davis hits one high and deep to right field. Alan Craig going back onto the track at the wall. It's gone. Chris Davis with a solo shot, his 3rd home run of the year. Now it's 7-5. Red Sox on top.
Well, you said it, Don. I mean, that's how you want to face them, with a lead and nobody on base. As he can turn a game around in a hurry. This time the solo shot. Fastball at 93, outside part of the plate, able to cover the plate and get plenty of lift on that home run.
First run allowed by Shinichi Tazawa this season. Gave up 5 home runs last year. Now Delman Young. And Young fouls the first one off to the end of the Red Sox dugout. On the ground up the middle, ranging is Holt. Can't get it. It's off his glove, and reaching at first is Young. Tying run will come to the plate here for the Orioles. It's a base hit for Delman Young.
Delman Young 2 for 4 on the night. Hits in his last 2 at bats.
Juan Nieves making the walk out there to the mound. And with 2 outs, the home run by Chris Davis. Now the base hit by Delman Young. Robbie Ross Jr. is up in the Boston pen. Tazawa has given up his first run of the year. Now trying to get out of this 8th inning and preserve this 2-run advantage right now for Boston. Ray Navarro in his major league debut got his first major league hit, a double back in the 5th inning. He struck out, had a sacrifice bunt. Now takes a pitch high for ball 1. Fastball out of the zone. Britton and Garcia up in the pen for the Orioles. Sandoval in on the grass at 3rd. Two and 0. 3-0.
A couple of borderline pitches here for Tazawa that he has not gotten. This one at the bottom of the strike zone, but not getting the call.
Dana DeMuth has a play tonight, calling the balls and strikes. Delman Young at first base with 2 down. Navarro, the potential tying run for the Orioles. Strike called, same spot. Now it's a strike.
Well, it should have been a strike for the last 2 pitches.
Navarro lifts a fly ball to shallow center. In comes Mookie Betts and under to make the catch. That ends the 8th. Well, Chris Davis with a home run. It is 7-5. Red Sox have the lead. Ball and Nesson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare on southwest.com. DraftKings. Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Thank you, New England, for 60 great years. The all-new Kia Sorrento. Visit newenglandkiadealers.com to learn more. Audi. Experience the new Audi A3 today. And by Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, now playing. Chris Davis gets the Orioles a little bit closer with his solo home run to make it 7-5 as we head to the 9th inning. Mookie Betts to lead it off here for the Red Sox. And Betts takes a pitch up high for ball 1 from the new Orioles pitcher, Jason Garcia. His 5th appearance of the year, 6.43 earned run average. 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. Opponents hitting at .280 against Garcia. To right field for Betts. Delman Young out there waiting. Makes the catch for the first out of the 9th. 1 away, and Dustin Pedroia coming up. He has popped out to first, popped out to third, singled, and reached on a fielder's choice. Darren O'Day ended up going a third of an inning and giving up a 3-run home run to Brock Holt, of which he was charged with 2 of the runs. No walks, no strikeouts for O'Day. It's actually Mattis who is on the hook right now. He had walked to Pablo Sandoval, came around to score on the 3-run home run, the only batter that Mattis faced. As Garcia is now the 5th pitcher used by Buck Showalter in this game. There's a strike, 2-1. David Ortiz waiting on deck, 1 down here in the top of the 9th inning. 2-2. Jason Garcia and the Red Sox organization. Originally a 17th round pick by the Red Sox in 2010. Taken by the Orioles in the Rule 5 draft. In the dirt, full count. Last year spending time in Lowell and High A Greenville in the Red Sox organization. Never got as high as Double A with Boston, and it's in the majors this year with Baltimore. On the ground, left side. Cabrera with a bobble, and Pedroia will reach. Another miscue here for the Orioles.
Yeah, their defense has been struggling a little bit here early in the season. Cabrera going just a couple of steps to his right, but trying to be too quick on the transfer right there. Never had control of the baseball in the throwing hand.
One out and one on thanks to the error by Cabrera. Here's David Ortiz. Strike one. That's David looking back. Home plate umpire Dana DeMuth. Big swing and a miss for Ortiz. Wanted that one.
Yeah, but again, you know, they elevate against David. You know, a good low ball hitter. Get the ball above the belt. It's a little bit different story. He throws that one by him, the fastball.
Closer up for the Red Sox, Koji Uehara. A bottom of the 9th inning that'll see Caleb Joseph, Everett Cabrera, and Steve Pearce expected. Ortiz goes around. DeMuth rings him up. 2 down to the 9th.
Take a look from the side. Swing. Yes.
Two down with Pedroia at first base for Hanley Ramirez. And a solo shot back in the 5th inning. A 1-for-4 night from his cleanup spot in the Red Sox order. Foul to the screen for strike one. Napoli waiting on deck. For the first stand, Pedroia diving back head first. Outfield very deep here on Hanley Ramirez, and basically straight away right now for Baltimore. Pierce and Young backed up.
Pedroia still looking for his first steal of the season. Had a caught stealing back in the 7th on a play that was reviewed. Down and in, 1-1.
Chris Davis holding on. Pedroia at first base with 2 down here in the top of the 9th inning. Popped up, foul ground. Davis headed over towards the seats. Will not have a play. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 down here in the top of the 9th inning. And stepping off now is Garcia. Ramirez fouls it off himself and hops around.
Spinning breaking ball that time and right off the left foot of Ramirez. He limps all the way back to the batter's box.
Getting a little restless. To center field. Falling fast, going to fall in for a hit. So a base hit for Hanley Ramirez as Pedroia takes second base. And Hanley hobbling his way down to first after the base hit.
Hell, a big swing and you know, not going very far. Pretty good jump out there by Adam Jones, but he can't get to it. Ramirez running down that first base line, hoping that ball's going to drop in. And then once it does, limps around first base.
2 on, 2 down. Mike Napoli, the batter. 0 for 4 in tonight's game. And they take strike 1. Strike now to Napoli. Mookie Betts flied out to right to begin the inning. Pedroia reaches on the miscue at short by Everth Cabrera. Ortiz struck out. Hanley Ramirez with a single to center field. 2 on, 2 down. Lead on the fastball is Napoli. 94 from Garcia. Xander Bogaerts not going to run for Hanley Ramirez at first base.
And they'll put Bogaerts at shortstop and put Holt in the outfield.
So Bogaerts now running at first base with Pedroia at second base. 2 down in the 9th. Napoli strikes out and a pitch away. Red Sox strand a pair. We enter the bottom of the 9th inning. 7-5 Boston. It's Koji time. Baltimore at 7-5. Red Sox have the lead as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Brock Holt moves from shortstop to left field here. With Xander Bogaerts pinch running for Ramirez, he stays in the game at shortstop. And the new pitcher, Koji Uehara. Uehara's 4th game, 1-0, the 0.00 earned run average, 2 for 2. And save opportunities for Uehara so far in the season. 4 strikeouts, no walks, and opponents hitting at just 111 against him.
And he's done it basically with his split finger fastball. Very few fastballs, straight fastballs for Uehara in the outings that he's been in.
Caleb Joseph leading it off here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Travis Snyder has come out on deck to pinch hit for Everth Cabrera, it appears. Tazawa worked the 8th inning, so an inning giving up 2 hits and his first run of the year as Chris Davis homered off him. No walks, no strikeouts for Tazawa. This is line down the left field line, a fair ball. Brock Holt over to cut it off. A long single for Caleb Joseph, and the tying run will come to the plate for the Orioles.
A back-to-back splitters, and Joseph all over the second one for that line drive down the left field line. Nice play by Holt to get to that and keep the runner at first base. Holt had a lot of the ground to cover out there, backhands it, gets it back in, and keeps the double play in order.
Snyder at pinch hitting here now for Everth Cabrera. He's 1 for 2 with the sac fly. Snyder takes ball 1. For 1 with a K against Uehara in his career. Swing and a miss, off balance there, 1-1.
Better split that time, working down and away from the left-handed hitter.
Pulls Hannigan out of the crouch. 2-1. Leadoff base hit here in the bottom of the 9th inning for Caleb Joseph. Action in case. Zach Britton up for the Orioles. Swing and a miss. Snyder fooled again. 2-2.
And still nothing but splitters from Uehara. One away, one inside to Snyder.
Snyder reaches out and pops it up foul. That'll get into the seats right in behind the Red Sox dugout. Uehara got his second save of the year on Tuesday night against Tampa Bay, going an inning, giving up a hit. 2 for 2 in save chances in 2015. Started the year on the DL, activated on the 13th of April. The left hamstring strain. A former Baltimore Oriole. Ready with his 2-2. Ball 3, full count. Snyder strikes out. Uehara has out number 1 of the 9th.
Well, again, he remains with the split-fingered fastball. Every pitch to Snyder and not at bat was a splitter. And maybe saved the best one for last.
1 on, 1 out here in the 9th inning. And here is Steve Pearce. Pearce pinch hit in the 7th inning and walked. That was against Alexi Ogando. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Third season now for Uehara in a Red Sox uniform. Signed a 2-year contract extension during this past offseason. Pearce to left down the line, but foul. Out ahead of that.
Well, they made a mistake that time. They wanted to go outside with the splitter. Instead, it floats inside, and Pearce hooking it foul.
Pearce protecting the plate, fouls it off.
That's the first fastball that he's featured in the game, and it was 86 miles an hour. Back to the splitter.
On a line to left and a fair ball to the corner. Joseph to third on a long single by Pearce to the left field corner that has the tying runs on for the Orioles.
Now that's a good play by Brock Holt to get that ball back in at second base and keep that potential tying run out of scoring position. Another split-fingered fastball stays inside. Another ball down in the left field corner. But Brock Holt had no hesitation. He knew he was going into second base. 2-run lead here in the 9th. Trying to keep that man out of scoring position.
Double play in order as well here as Manny Machado stands in. He's been up in some key spots in this game. Takes strike 1. Machado came up against Alexi Ogando in the 7th inning with the bases loaded. Some tough numbers for him against Uehara in the past. Very high. There's the fastball at 86 again. to strike the first time, not this time. 2-1.
That's a good pitch right there, right at the bottom of the strike zone.
Uehara dismayed with that last pitch. Not getting the strike call. 2-1 pitch. Machado with a swing and a miss.
Swinging on top of the splitter.
First and third, one out in the ninth. Ball 3, full count. Joseph at third, Pierce at first. Machado pops it up. Coming from short is Bogarts. He'll make the catch, 2 down in the ninth.
Well, again, getting underneath the splitter. 2 fastballs Uehara's thrown in this game. The rest have been splitters. He's got 2 out and 2 on here in the ninth. You see Machado, the frustration. Thought he had a good pitch to hit and popped it up.
And a pinch runner at first base who has popped out of the dugout here for the Orioles. David Lowe is going to run at first. Representing the tying run, Jimmy Paredes, the batter. Swing and a miss for strike 1. At the corners for the Orioles, 2 down in the ninth. Oh, and 2. Low and away, 1 and 2. First time Jimmy Paredes has ever faced Koji Uehara. The 1-2. Hey, struck him out and the Red Sox win. Boston able to take the first game of this 3-game series against the Orioles, and Koji Uehara basically with 1 pitch. The splitter able to get his 3rd save of the year as the Red Sox hold on to win it. 2 strikeouts in the ninth and a big 3-run home run for Brock Holt in this game. The Red Sox win it 7-5 and take game 1 of the series as we send it to Boston and Tom Caron. TC?